I'm really touched by the love and concern that my YouTube family have shown following the burglary we had at our nursery on Wednesday last. I have really been overwhelmed by the love and support that people have shown me. I'm hoping that the police can follow up this, but we've on the BBC News in their news page, so there's a lot of publicity been given to this theft. But hopefully, you never know, the trees might show up, but then they could have sold it to anyone for a pittance or even destroyed it. Who's to know? The goods may be too hot to handle. So this is what I've been putting up on our Facebook page. Let me just describe the trees that got stolen, because a number of you asked me to put the pictures on YouTube so that you could follow it up, and in case you see them, you know the provenance of these trees. So here we go. Let me just enlarge the pictures and tell you about what actually got stolen. So the first and most significant theft was this tree. This is the very famous Blaw's juniper that I made for my second book, Bonsai Masterclass, the original masterclass. This was made in 1984, and the material was a Blaw's juniper that one of the fellow nurserymen gifted to me, or maybe I even paid £4 or £5 for it. It was only like 40 or 60 centimeter tall, as you can see in that picture in that book. And in 2 years, it became a very showable tree. The last few years, it has been at Wisley, and I brought the tree back from Wisley earlier this year so that I could work on it and improve the tree. So while it was on the nursery, they targeted this tree and it was stolen. It is by no means the most valuable and the best tree on the nursery, but it has immense sentimental value. When you think that I spent 40 years of my life looking after this tree. So this is a tree that got stolen. I think they took it out of the pot and carried it on their arm. So that is the first one. Let me show you the second one. The second one is this Chinese elm, which I bought from one of the exhibitors or one of the dealers at the Telford Bonsai Show, which I attended on the 5th of October. So I hadn't owned it long, but it was a very lovely tree and I paid quite a lot of money for it. It's about 70 to 80 centimeter tall. It's quite a large tree. So that's a tree which has gone. And then the next tree is this massive, massive Chinese elm. You can see me standing beside the tree. This again is another of the trees that we showed at Wisley for many years. Highly admired and appreciated by everyone. Can you see the size? I would say that this tree is at least 1.2 meter tall and about 1.2 meter wide. It's a massive Chinese elm. So it was back on the nursery because I wanted to thin some of the pads because the pads were getting too thick. What they did in the video, you saw the CCTV recording, the thieves had yanked the tree out of the pot and they carried the tree under their arm, and one of their minions, the third guy in the CCTV, he was carrying the pot. So they took the tree without the pot because it was a bit too heavy. So one guy could carry one tree, just this tree under his arm, and a couple of others as well. So that was the second tree that got stolen. Let me now go on to the next tree. Well, that's the first tree. So the next tree, the fourth of the trees that went missing, I think they stole 5 big trees, but I can't figure out which was the fifth one, but certainly this one got stolen. But I feel a bit embarrassed because this is a customer's tree. It was on the nursery for resuscitation. This customer, let me show you the history of it because it's in my photo album. So this customer's tree was in this round granite pot, and he had used a very gritty mix of just, I think, granite or pea shingle. So the tree wasn't doing well. So I took it out of this pot. The pot is still on the nursery. And you can see the compost. It wasn't all that good. But I planted it in sphagnum moss. If you look at this picture closely, You see the Peter Chan's moss trick. I planted it in sphagnum moss, so the tree was really recovering well. As you can see, the foliage was so bright green, and this picture was taken on the 13th of September. 13th of September. Only about little over 4 or 5 weeks ago. What we did discover when the thieves left their trail, they left sphagnum moss strewn all over the roadside. So they took it out of the pot, and I don't think the tree might survive, because once it's out of the sphagnum moss, they won't know what to do with it. The tree might suffer and die. So I've got to square it with my customer. But there you go, that was the 4th tree. There was another gap in the nursery where I found a tree missing, but I can't for the life of me recall which tree that was. So if it comes to my memory, I will show it again. But certainly 5 big trees got stolen, plus about maybe 10 or 12 or 15 30-centimeter high Chinese elms, because 2 were left on the roadside, and one of the neighbors who was driving on the road at the time of the theft saw the trees lying on the roadside but didn't think anything of it. So the thieves were probably hiding in the bushes, waiting for the van or the car to come and pick up the stolen goods. So that is the inventory of the stolen trees. If you do see them, let me know, and I might even give you a little reward, but I'm sure you would want a reward, because most of our YouTube family are so kind and caring that I'm sure, I think your love and concern means much more than the value of the trees. So wish me luck, and I hope the robbers don't come to a happy end. I believe in karma, and the old man up in the sky will probably take care of me. God bless you all.